City Council.
Thank you very much for having me tonight. Thank you for putting me after Sarah. She's a hard act to follow. Congratulations, all the wonderful work you've done. But seriously, thanks for this opportunity to bring an update on behalf of the Waverly Historic Preservation Commission. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Our commissioners are a dedicated and passionate group of people who get things done. And so it's a privilege to serve with them. Our current members are Karen Lehman and Linda Hubden, both of whom are here with me tonight, along with Chris Brunkhorst, Pete Newell, Mary Meyer, and Glenn Fenneman. And thanks to Councilman Dan Lampe for serving as our council liaison as well. We do want to say a special thank you to a couple of commissioners who have left the commission since our last update, and so we want to thank Deborah Ackerson and Tom Hicks for their years of service on the commission. Just a couple of highlights from this past year. Our biggest event of the year was the July 15th celebration of our Southwest Sturtevant Historic District, which was our fourth historic district, our fourth celebration. Walking tours were available. We had a lot of people take part in those. And then we held a special program that packed the basement of First Baptist Church. We want to thank Mayor Infelt for his remarks for that program. I want to thank Councilman Mike Shearer for attending. I want to thank our sponsors for that event, Fairway, K-Way Radio, and Rod and Bonnie Drenkow. And we want to thank First Baptist Church, who went out of their way to host our event. We awarded a plaque during that program honoring the placement of First Baptist Church on the Waverly Historic District. And we gave a Waverly Historic Preservation Award to Scott and Sherry Niles for the preservation work they've done on their home. We also want to comment on the completion of the nomination of the Green Bridge to the National Historic Register. We first want to thank the council and the city staff for their help in completing that nomination. But some may wonder why we're placing it on the National Register if the bridge is going to come down. Well, we wanted to point out the main purpose of any National Register nomination is to create a permanent record, a permanent file that documents the history of that structure. And it served our community for 100 years, so we want to remember that. And so this way we will always have a permanent record on file at both the State Historical Society office and with the National Park Service. We're also exploring if it makes sense to save a piece or two of the bridge to display it somewhere, which will go along with our display that highlights its placement on the National Register. We don't have any recommendation on that tonight, but we have been talking about that. Our commission has also made progress on providing information on our website for homeowners and property owners in our 4 historic districts. We want to clarify what they can and cannot do with those properties and the tax advantages that are available to them. That's a service we want to provide to the city and to our Waverly citizens. We also gave input on the future development of Riverside Park, working with Tab Ray. We look forward to what develops there. And finally, we're looking into grant funding for a project that would bring our historic districts full circle. The only section of town without a historic district is the northeast quarter. And so we would need to raise funding to hire an architectural historian to do a survey and see if there are enough contributing properties to carry a nomination forward. So it's an idea we're pursuing. We're not exactly sure yet when and if that might materialize, but there might be more coming on that. So that's our update. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
The tour was phenomenal.
Great, thanks. Glad you could be a part of it.
I think Southwest has never looked any better. I know having spent some growing up time there too. And but what this does to a community to really coordinate itself, to present itself in order to lift up that past as we kind of get momentum in the future is just outstanding. My goodness, and there's so many homes that for Waverly, is it worth taking a little car tour? Yes, it is, just to go up and down and look at each of these homes and what's happened. You know, so you're creating momentum for our town. We thank you.
Mm-hmm. And we have the walking tour brochures available, I think, both at the chamber office and at the library. For anybody who can do a self-guided walking tour using the maps in those brochures at any time. So we encourage you all to do that if you haven't done that.
Don, as you and I have talked, I'm on the Chamber Design Committee, which we therefore have a particular interest in the commercial districts that have been added to the registry. And we've talked about the significance of the tax credits that are available because of that. What a boon that is, a booster for possible renovations and economic activity in those areas, and that we want to work. We're joined with Don as far as our chamber committee to make sure that we can get the word out and make that a tool. I noticed recently that Cedar Falls has come on this and had a meeting not long ago to talk to their chamber members and the public about wanting to establish those districts down there, realize fast to get that groundwork laid. And we have it in place, and we shouldn't forget it in any of our thinking about what we want to do to our Main Street corridor and throughout the historic districts.
We drive around town. We've been really trying to ride bikes more, I guess, to get me out there. But we've been spending a lot more time on the streets, ride around, and you see the signs. Our kids have noticed it, and it's really neat to drive around town and to see that. It puts a different different feel when you're going through town when you see it. Oh, I'm entering a historic district. You know, that's neat. So, yeah. And it comes with a lot of work, and appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.